मुरलीधर प्रभु जी दाना शिल्पा
हम्म।
माताजी दंडवत प्रणाम माताजी
माताजी
प्लीज
धन्यवाद
लीड।
प्रणाम माताजी। हरे कृष्णा।
Okay, because it is about Lord Ramachandra's pastimes, let's begin with a bhajan on Lord Ram. This is written by Tulsi Das, a very beautiful bhajan that talks about um, the way Lord Ramachandra walked when he was a small little baby. ठुमक चलत रामचंद्र, ठुमक चलत रामचंद्र, बाजत पैजनिया, ठुमक चलत रामचंद्र, ठुमक चलत रामचंद्र, बाजत पैजनिया, ठुमक चलत रामचंद्र, खिलकी उठत धाय, खिलकी उठत धाय, गिरत भूमि लटपटाया, गिरत भूमि लटपटाया, धाय मात गोद लेता, दशरथ की रनिया, ठुमक चलत रामचंद्र, बाजत पैजनिया, ठुमक चलत रामचंद्र, अंचल रज अंग झारी, अंचल रज अंग झारी, विविध भांति सो दुलारी, विविध भांति सो दुलारी, तन मन धन वारी वारी, तन मन धन वारी, तन मन धन वारी वारी, कहत मृदु बचनिया, ठुमक चलत रामचंद्र, बाजत पैजनिया, ठुमक चलत रामचंद्र, विद्रुम से अरुणाधर, विद्रुम से अरुणाधर, बोलत मुख मधुर मधुर, बोलत मुख मधुर मधुर, सुभग नासिका में चारु, सुभग नासिका में चारु, लटकत लटकनिया, ठुमक चलत रामचंद्र, बाजत पैजनिया, ठुमक चलत रामचंद्र, तुलसीदास अति आनंद, तुलसीदास अति आनंद, देख के मुखारविंद, देख के मुखारविंद, रघुवर छवि के समान, रघुवर छवि के समान, रघुवर छवि बनिया, ठुमक चलत रामचंद्र, ठुमक चलत रामचंद्र, बाजत पैजनिया, ठुमक चलत रामचंद्र। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितां तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चना गौरांगी राधे बृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधारा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपः कुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रये नमो महावधन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः नमो ब्रह्मण्यदेवाय गोब्राह्मणाहिताय च जगद्धिताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे ओम मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं श्रीपरमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम् ओम अपवित्रो पवित्रो वा सर्वावस्थान् गतोऽपि वा यत्स्मरेत् पुण्डरीकाक्षसबाह्याभ्यन्तरं शुचिः श्री विष्णु श्री विष्णु श्री विष्णु हरे कृष्णा दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी एंड माता जी लेट मी शेयर माय स्क्रीन शेयर I'm audible, no, Mataji? And screen is visible, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, Mataji gave me ninth canto, 10th chapter, starting from 31st to 45. The pastimes of Supreme Lord Ramachandra is happening. Okay. So far we have gone through in this chapter Khatavanga's lineage and prayers to Lord Rama, and then Rama goes for Vanavasa. Ravana kidnaps Sita Devi, and search for Sita happens, and building of that bridge happens across the ocean to Lanka. Then Rama kills Ravana in the war between monkeys and Rakshasas, and lamentation of the wives of Rakshasas happen, and Rama returns to Ayodhya. That's where we are. Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam, 9th Canto, 10th chapter, 31 31st verse. Rama Priyatamam Bharyam Deenam Vikshanvakampata Atmasandarshanāhlāda Atmasandarshanāhlāda Vikasan Mukhapankajam. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Seeing his wife in that condition, Lord Ramachandra was very compassionate. When Ramachandra came before her, she was exceedingly happy to see her beloved, and her lotus-like mouth showed her joy. So Rama has killed Ravana, and he finds Sita beneath the Simshapa tree in the Ashoka forest. And she was very, very distressed due to her separation from Rama, and her looks actually indicated that as well. So, seeing her condition, Rama became compassionate. And seeing Rama, Sita's face blossomed like a lotus in joy. So, that's what this. Anybody wants to read Prabhuji's and Mataji's? Translation.
I'll read Mataji. Translations and purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. After giving Vibhishana the power to rule the Rakshasas population of Lanka for the duration of one kalpa, Lord Ramachandra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagwan, placed Sita Devi on an airplane decorated with flowers and then got on the plane himself. The period for his living in the forest having ended, the Lord returned to Ayodhya, accompanied by Hanuman, Sugriva, and his brother Lakshmana.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So, this translation itself is this narration of the story is going on. So, after throning Vibhishana, Ramachandra returned back to Ayodhya along with Sita Devi and Lakshmana, accompanied by Hanuman, Sugriva, and his brother Lakshmana. 33. Anyone?
Mataji, can I do? Hare Krishna.
Yes, please, Mataji.
Mataji, can I do verse also?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Avakiriyamana sukusumair lokapalaarpite pathi upagiyamana charitaha shatadhriti adibhirmuda. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. When Lord Ramachandra returned to his capital Ayodhya, he was greeted on the road by the princely order, who showered his body with beautiful, fragrant flowers, while great personalities like Lord Brahma and other demigods glorified the activities of the Lord in great jubilation. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So, as Ramachandra returned to his capital, he was given a befitting welcome by the citizens of the country by showering with fragrant flowers. Not only that, even the demigods and including Lord Brahma were actually showering the flowers on his body from above. Anyone?
Can I read Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, Brahma Mataji, Hare Krishna. Verse Chadutara Mataji or translation?
I'll try, Mataji. If there is any mistake, you please correct me. Hare Krishna. Gomutra yuvakam srutva Brataram Valkalambaram Mahakaruniko Tapyajai Jatilam Sthandile Sayam. Translation. Sorry, Mataji, 1 minute. Upon reading Ayodhya, Lord Ramachandra heard that in his absence, his brother Bharata was eating barley cooked in the urine of a cow, covering his body with the bark of trees, wearing matted locks of hair, and lying on a mattress of kusha. The most merciful Lord very much lamented this.
Hari bol, Hari bol.
Mm.
Very nice. So this is a very interesting verse where Ramachandra is being welcomed, and then his brother Bharata, who is the acting emperor, right? He never accepted the throne. He just accepted the throne on behalf of his dear brother Lord Ramachandra. In fact, uh, he placed the footwear of wooden footwear of Ramachandra on the throne, and actually ruled the country on behalf of Ramachandra. And during this period, Bharata was living a very highly austere life, very highly austere life, and he was actually sleeping 12 feet below the ground level. So when we went to Ayodhya Yatra last year, His Grace Shubhilas Prabhu was there to give us pravachan every day, morning and evening. And one of the highlights of his pravachan during that period was he talked at length about Bharata and Kausalya, two people that we rarely get to go in detail with, right? So it was very, very nice to hear. There are a few notes that I have taken, and I would like to sort of read them out now that Bharata is being talked about. So, Bharata. Bha means bhava, Ra means raga, Ta means tala. And Bharata literally means one who lifts a heavy burden. That is the meaning of the word. The one who lifts heavy burden. Everything that he does, he asks one question to himself. Prabhuji says, what is that? He asks himself, whatever I do, will this please Ram? If I do this, will Ram be happy? Will this please Ram? That is the question he asks every time he does anything. It is said that Lakshman serves the body of Ram, but Bharata serves instructions of Rama, right? And all the three brothers of Lord Ramachandra are extremely glorious, actually. So just to learn about the brothers in comparison, right? Like Lakshmana comes from Lakshmi, so he has a wealth. What is that wealth? Wealth is that of seva. He has the wealth of seva, and it is very different, right? This wealth is very different from the rest of the opulence, but seva is also an opulence. To be able to serve is also having opulence. It's another form of opulence, and he has great capacity for seva. Like the capacity that he has for seva is unimaginably huge. Lakshmana and Hare Krishna. Shatrugna, he fights and kills enemies, and only demon he ever killed was Lavanasura. And the enemy, entire life he served Bharat. So Shatrugna served entire his life, he served Bharat. Okay, so you can see the difference between Lakshmana and Shatrughna. Lakshmana chose to serve Lord Ram, who is God himself, and Shatrughna chose to serve Bharat, who is Lord's devotee. So both are equally good, like both are equally great. So that's what Prabhuji was talking about. So all the four brothers, Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, and Shatrughna, stand for certain qualities. Rama stands for dharma, and how? By showing his obedience to elders. That is the dharma. And Lakshmana is the personification of artha. Dharma, artha, moksha is there, right? In that sense. And his artha is seva, the capacity to serve. Bharata is the personification of moksha. What is it? Moksha through following instructions of the Lord. And Shatrughna shows the importance of serving devotees. That is the kama, that is the desire, intense desire that Shatrughna has towards serving the devotees of the Lord. So another thing I want to, now that we are talking about Bharata's austerity, one more thing I want to. Yeah. So Bharat Maharaj lived in Nandigram, right? It was a little away outskirts of Ayodhya. What happened after the marriage? Remember, the Swayamvara happened and Lord Ram marries Mother Sita, and Bharata Shatrughna also marry Mandavi and Shrutakirti. Then Bharata and Shatrughna after marriage go off to Kaikeyi Desh for 12 years. They stay there in their in-laws' place. And what happened? All the Pattabhisheka pastime happened, right? Bharata saw that white hair in his head and decided that, oh, I'm growing old and I have to hand over. And hurriedly he arranged for the coronation of Rama, and Kaikeyi and Manthara, all this pastime happened. When all this was happening, it is said that Bharata in Kaikeyi Desh had a dream. And in his dream, Dasharatha is falling off of a very big cliff into a lake of muck. Right? He's falling from a cliff. Not just that, he's falling into a very dirty, mucky lake. He comes out, and he comes out of that mucky lake, all dirty. All this is dream of Bharata, and he drinks gingerly oil. And it is said that it is actually true that when people die, gingerly oil is put in their mouth. So it's given to dead people. And a chariot comes. So he falls off the cliff into the mucky lake. He comes out of the mucky lake and he drinks gingerly oil. And a chariot driven by a very devilish person, lady actually, she's loudly laughing. And she places a red hibiscus flower, and Dasharatha boards that chariot and leaves, and he is very, very disturbed by that dream. Bharata wakes up after that dream and he is very, very disturbed. So when all these things are happening, right, like Manthara is contaminating the mind of Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi goes and puts these very unreasonable asks in front of Dasharatha that Bharata should be the king and Rama should be banished to forest for 13 years. All this is happening. Bharata is also feeling the heat of it because he's so connected to Rama in spirit, that he sort of is getting in his dream that something is not going well. And Bharata, finally, the messenger comes and he's asked to leave for Ayodhya, and lot of gifts are sent along with him. Okay, so lot of gifts. Usually, It takes 1.5 day to travel, it seems. At that time, he took a lot of time to come also, 7 days. So Shubhulas Prabhuji was saying that this shows that you should always travel light. If you travel with lot of luggage, it takes time. So, but Bharata is very uneasy. He's very not at all peaceful, and he really wants to enter Ayodhya, get into his palace, find out how everybody is doing. He has that anxiety and stress in him. He's seeing that everybody is crying, nobody is on the road, shops are closed, temples are not decorated, even animals are crying. So he's like, continuously the suspense is building up. And he goes to Dasharath's palace. He was not there. And he went to Kaikeyi's palace. And it's very well, that's the only palace that's very well decorated and well lit. Entire Ayodhya is wearing a very, very morose look, except for Kaikeyi's palace. Right? And Kaikeyi breaks the news very casually, it seems. I mean, some of you were there in the lecture. You may remember how Prabhuji described. Kaikeyi very casually describes and says, Ya gati sarvabhutanam ta gatim te pita. Your father went to the same place that all animals go to when they leave body. Like nothing unusual happened. He just went to the same place that all the animals go when they leave body. So that's how casually she breaks the news. And another thing to remember is when Dasharatha Maharaj leaves his body, his last words were, O Rama, O Sita, O Lakshmana. These are the three names that he takes. Right? So Bharata becomes very, very angry, and there is a lot of details, Maharaj Shubhavilas Prabhu talked about how he really finds fault with his mother Kaikeyi for having done what she has done. What did Rama do? What was his sin that you banished him to Dandakaranya? And then what did my father do? You made him leave his body. Did he steal money from Brahmanas? Well, like what was his sin? Why did you do this? And what happiness is there in ruling a kingdom that came at the cost of my father's life? This is, he says, this is equivalent to a scorpion coming out of the mother's belly. Whenever mother scorpion gives birth, she has to die because that's the only way the baby scorpion comes out. When baby scorpion comes out, it tears out of mother's belly, causing her to die. So Bharata is comparing, telling his mother that the kingdom that you got for me is exactly similar to how baby scorpion kills the mother in order to take birth. You have given me infamy, he says. How can you do this? How can you do this? You really, gave me a very bad place in the history. People will remember me as someone who even did not, who was the reason for sending his brother, sister-in-law, and another younger brother to forest. And he says, he tells her, I'll make sure Ram comes back. And I'll throw you out of the kingdom. If Ram, I would have thrown you out of the kingdom only if Rama had not loved you so much. So this is the proof that he always asks that question, right? If I do this, will Rama be pleased? He really wants to throw her out of the kingdom, but then he asks himself, will Rama be pleased if I do this? And he knows that Rama would not like it. That's the only reason he does not do that. Otherwise, he's very angry. He's very disappointed in his mother, you know. And he says, you are from Kaikeyi Desh, and how can you do this? Kaikeyi Desh is today's Afghanistan, right? In Kaikeyi Desh, Kaikeyi Desh is full of peacocks. And peacocks make the sound coo, 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 coo. And that's why it got the name Kaikeyi, coo, 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 coo sound, Kaikeyi, like that. In peacock, in the family of peacocks, only the first son of the peacock has the natural crown on the head. All of us have seen the crown that comes up on the top of the peacock, right? That happens only, that comes up only to the first boy baby of the peacock. So that only the first son of peacock has natural crown on the head. No other son has it. So Bharata is telling her directly, you are coming from Kaikeyi Desh, which is the land of peacocks, where it is actually, everybody knows that only the first son has the natural crown. I'm not the first son of my father. Lord Rama is. How can you think that I can be crowned? When you come from Kaikeyi Desh and you know the how peacocks handle the hierarchy, right? And then he goes to meet Kausalya, and Kausalya is also deeply distressed, right? And she blames Bharat. And rightly so. And Bharat is also like taking all the blame, welcoming all the blame actually. And he takes several vows, right? Negative affirmation. See, there are positive affirmations that we take in order for some improvement, right? I will chant my 16 rounds before in Brahma Muhurta is a positive affirmation, right? It is said that Bharata takes a lot of vows that are negative information, what he will never do. He says, I'll never return back if Rama does not come. And he says, lot of such things. I will never be sitting on this throne that my mother got for me. All of these things. And anyway, it's a very, very like entire 3 hours lecture that Prabhuji gave on Bharata, which actually tells how great Bharata is. And one thing to note is Valmiki himself comments in one of the verses that Lord Rama left the kingdom because he was asked to do so. He was actually banished from the kingdom. That's why he went to forest. But Bharata went to forest despite having the kingdom, despite having the authority to sit on the throne. He left it voluntarily and he decided to go to forest. So we all know what all happened after that. He's not successful in getting Rama to come back. So after much discussion, he decides to come back with Rama's wooden footwear. He places the footwear on his head and comes back to Ayodhya. And when he comes back to before he comes back to Ayodhya to rule the kingdom on behalf of Lord Rama, Rama preaches him how to rule the kingdom as well. He asks a lot of questions when Bharata comes to meet him in the forest. Are you respecting Vasishtha and his sons? Are you serving the mothers, all the 3 mothers well? Are you serving the doctors of the kingdom well? Are you serving the ancestors well? Are you taking care of trees on the road? Very detailed, very detailed. Prabhuji was telling that if we actually list these questions and print them out and hang it in like parliament or all these MP and MLAs offices, that's what they should be doing. Simple. These are the things that they should be doing. They should be taking care of Brahmanas. They should have Brahmanas as their gurus. They should be taking care of doctors, ancestors, trees. Are you making decisions after consulting 2 or 3 ministers, both individually and in group? He says it seems. So this is how even the principles of management says that you socialize anything, any proposal in office. You socialize it first with a few people, right? Who are either going to approve it or going to execute it. And then you bring them all in one single meeting and sort of put the proposal forward. after taking all of them in confidence. And he says, I hope you have chosen, Rama tells Bharata, I hope you have chosen a defense head who is courageous, from a cultured family, fearless, and joyful. The fourth quality was very, very surprising to me. And Prabhuji spent quite some time to talk about why the head of defense, head of army, navy, and air force has to be joyful. Because people with power should be happy people, it seems. Then they are going to lead the kingdom, lead other people with the right mindset. If the people are insecure, jealous, they want to show their supremacy, they cannot be happy. Insecure people, jealous people, they cannot be happy. And out of their not being happy, they'll make sure that rest of the people and the kingdom is also not happy. So Rama tells Bharata that I hope that you have chosen a defense head who is courageous and from a cultured family, very important, fearless and joyful. And he says, I hope you are sharing your meals with friends, and I hope you are wearing good clothes and making public appearances. Everything, it is so detailed. Prabhuji was talking about it. Every morning, get up before everyone else and spend some time alone. This is the instruction of Lord Rama to Bharata. Such an amazingly relevant instruction even today. He says everybody should wake up and spend time with themselves early in the morning. And the most important relationship, why we need to spend time with ourselves, is because Lord Rama says the most important relationship is the one that we have with ourselves. Right? So this is very important to understand. We have to also have a very healthy, flourishing relationship with ourselves first. And we have to choose our team very, very carefully. And he also gives the definition of a cultured family, which is actually very, very straightforward. He doesn't mince his words. He says, one of the qualities of a cultured family is where children are having a very happy, good relationship with the parents. That is the indication of a flourishing family. I mean, cultured family. So he also talks about Bharata tells Rama that our father's decision was faulty. The way he decided to banish you from the kingdom, the way he decided to put me on the throne, they were all influenced by lusty attachment to Kaikeyi, he says. But Rama tells, no, that is not how you should think now. Rama talks about the four gates of perfection: peace, introspection, satisfaction, and satsang. These are the four gates that will actually keep one very happy. So when somebody is peaceful, there is lack of desire, because desire is the root cause of misery, Lord Buddha also said. So when a materialistic desire is there, there will not be any peace. And when there is introspection, ignorance will not be there. That's why it's very important to have that introspection, the propensity to introspect, because it will drive away the ignorance. And santosh, satisfaction should be there. When we have the satisfaction, the hankering will reduce. And satsang should be there. Why? Because it prevents us from all, apart from all the other good things, satsang should be there to stop us from misguidance. Without satsang, it's very easy to be misguided. So all these things, I can go on and on, but it would be a slightly distraction from the verses that we are reading. I really wanted to cover Bharata because all that I heard in that lecture was extremely nice and very deep, deeper, pastimes of Ram and Bharata, which actually talks about how Rama gave instructions to Bharata. Next, Rama Valmiki says Bharata did not take the Padukas to Ayodhya. Padukas took Bharata. That is the mood in which he actually left Rama and came back to the kingdom. So it's a very very nice. There's just the thing that he kept the wooden, footwear of Lord Rama on his head and walked back has inspired a lot of acharyas to elaborate that small pastime. So Shubhvilas Prabhu was talking about this Sri Vaishnava Acharya, who has written one single book on Paduka Sahasranam. So it's the entire book is focused on the carrying of padukas on Bharata's head. Actually, Ram's padukas on Bharata's head. Okay, so what has happened? He's leading a very very austere life. He digs a hole 12 feet below the ground, and that is where he sleeps every day for 13 years, right? And he eats barley boiled in the urine of cow. That's what um, he's eating. And he's just covered with bark of trees for his cloth. And he's not keeping himself well, so it can be seen in the way his hair is looking, right? It is matted and all that. And every day he's lying down on a grass mattress, but he's looking after the kingdom from there, uh, very ably, very efficiently, following all the instructions. Remember what we said? Lakshmana serves the body of Rama, but Bharata serves the instruction of Rama, and he's doing that very very perfectly. So Ram meets him, and he's very shocked and very, um, you know, sad to see Bharata in that condition.
Hare
35.
Krishna Mataji, sorry to interrupt you, Mataji. Mataji, in Ramcharitmanas it is said that when Rama is walking on the forest, some thorns were because of the thorns he is getting hurt. At
Yes.
that time, Lakshman wants to remove the thorns when Rama is going.
Yeah.
But Rama stopped him and he said that, please take care of the thrones at the back of me because Bharat is going to come.
Very, very well.
Really, when we read Ramcharitmanas, Mataji, I'm telling you, definitely everyone will cry.
Yes, Mataji. Yes. So Shubhlas Prabhuji was explaining how they were walking. Rama, Sita, and Lakshmana. So to left of Sita, Rama will be there a few steps ahead. And she will not step on the footsteps of Rama. She will not put her step on it. Right? And then Lakshmana will walk, and Sita to the right of Sita. To the right of Sita. Like that they would walk, it seems. So yeah, you're very nice, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Ram Ram Mataji. Okay, 35 to 38. Anybody wants to read?
I can do Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Mataji.
भरत प्राप्तमाकर्ण्य पौरामात्य पुरोहिते पादुके शिरसि न्यस्य रामं प्रत्युद्यतोऽग्रजम् नन्दिग्रामात् स्वशिबिरात् गीतवादित्रनिस्वनै ब्रह्मघोषेण च मुहुः पठभिर्ब्रह्मवादिभिः स्वर्णकक्ष पताकाभिर्हैमैश्चित्र ध्वजैरथैः सत् अश्वैरुक्मसन्नाहैर्भटैः पुरटवर्मभिः श्रेणिभिर्वारमुख्याभिर्भृत्यैश्चैव पदानुगैः पारमेष्ठ्यान्युपाध्याय पण्यान्यु उच्चावचानि च पादयोर्न्यपतत् प्रेम्णा प्रक्लिन्न हृदये क्षणः. Translation and puppet by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. When Lord Bharata understood that Lord Ramachandra was returning to the capital Ayodhya, he immediately took upon his own head Lord Ramachandra's wooden shoes and came out from his camp at Nandigrama. Lord Bharata was accompanied by ministers, priests, and other respectable citizens, by professional musicians, vibrating pleasing musical sounds, and by learned Brahmanas loudly chanting Vedic hymns. Following in the procession were chariots drawn by beautiful horses with harnesses of golden rope. These chariots were decorated by flags with golden embroidery and by other flags of various sizes and patterns. There were soldiers bedecked with golden armor, servants bearing betel nut, and many well known and beautiful prostitutes. Many servants followed on foot, bearing an umbrella, whisks, different grades of precious jewels, and other paraphernalia befitting a royal reception. Accompanied in this way, Lord Bharata, his heart, Lord Bharata, his heart softened in ecstasy and his eyes full of tears, approached Lord Ramachandra and fell at his lotus feet with great ecstatic love. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Very beautiful recitation. So, all the details talk about how Bharata came out of Nandigram carrying Rama's wooden shoes on his head, and how he was accompanied by all the paraphernalia, all the entourage, and everything, umbrellas, whisks, and all those things. And he's very eager. His heart is very soft, and he's ecstatic because he's going to meet Lord Rama after such a long time. Let's see what happens. Okay, I'll read this. Paduke Nyasya Purata Pranjalair Bhashpalochana Tam Ashlishya Chiram Dorbhyam Snapyayan Netrajairjale Ramo Lakshmana Sita Bhyam Viprebhyo Yerha Sattama तेभ्यः स्वयं नामश्चक्रे प्रजाभिश्च नमस्कृता. Translation. After offering the wooden shoes before Lord Ramachandra, Lord Bharata stood with folded hands, his eyes full of tears, and Lord Ramachandra bathed Bharata with tears while embracing him with both arms for a long time. Accompanied by Mother Sita and Lakshmana, Lord Ramachandra then offered his respectful obeisances unto the learned Brahmanas and the elderly persons in the family. And all the citizens of Ayodhya offered their respectful obeisances unto the Lord. So, this is the meeting point. So, they hugged each other quite understandably for a long time. Both cried, and it says Rama bathed Bharata with his tears. So, that much of tears were shed, right? He embraced Bharata and also paid obeisances to all the elderly people that are there. And next, anybody?
Can I read Mataji?
Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhuji. Chadvan
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Subara Prabhuji chadutarta.
Okay. I'll try Mataji. 41.
Okay.
Uttarasanyan patim viksha chiragatam uttarah kosalamanyai kiranto nandruturmudaha. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The citizens of Ayodhya, upon seeing their king return after a long absence, offered him flower garlands, waved their upper clothes, and danced in great jubilation.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, read this also, Prabhuji.
भरत गृहचारमव्यजन्तोत्तमे विभीषणा सुशीघ्रीव स्वेच्छछत्रमरुत्सतः Dhanur Nishagjanna Chatrugna Sita Thidha Kamandalam Abhibradhargada Khadgam Haimam Charma Rakshan Rupa. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O King, Lord Bharata carried Lord Ramachandra's wooden shoes, Sugriva and Vibhushana carried a whisk and an excellent fan. Hanuman carried a white umbrella, Satrugna carried a bow and two quivers, and Sita Devi carried a water pot filled with water from holy places. Angada carried a sword, and Jambavan, king of Rakshasas, carried a golden shield.
Why did they carry all these things? It's because devotees carry different objects to serve and honor Lord Rama. That's the reason. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. They carried all these things to serve Rama. 44. Brahmarama Mataji, you can read now.
Yes, Mataji, 1 minute. Hare Krishna. पुष्पकस्तो नूतः स्त्रिभिः स्तूयमानच्च वन्दिभिः विरेजे भगवान् रजन् ग्रहैश्चन्द्र. What is that word, Mataji? Ivoditaha, right?
Ivodita.
Ivodita.
Yeah. Risen.
Translation?
Udita means risen. Yeah.
Okay. Translation? O King Parikshit, as the Lord sat on his airplane of flowers with women offering him prayers and reciters chanting about his characteristics, he appeared like the moon with the stars and planets. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So this verse describes how Lord Rama was looking like when he was receiving all those services being offered to him. Right? He appeared like a moon with the stars and planets. 45, 46. Deepa Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. नन्दितसोऽथ सोत्सवां प्राविशत्पुरीं प्रविश्य राजभवनं गुरुपत्नी स्वमातरं गुरून्वयस्या वरजान् पूजित प्रत्यपूजयत् वैदेही लक्ष्मणश्चैव यथावत् समुपेयतु. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thereafter, having been welcomed by his brother Bharata, Lord Ramachandra entered the city of Ayodhya in the midst of a festival. When he entered the palace, he offered obeisances to all the mothers, including Kaikeyi and the other wives of Maharaja Dashrath, and especially his own mother Kaushalya. He also offered obeisances to the spiritual preceptors such as Vasishtha. Friends of his own age and younger friends worshipped him, and he returned their respectful obeisances, as did Lakshmana and Mother Sita. In this way, they all entered the palace.
Haribol. Haribol. Very nice, very nice. So here and like last two verses are there after this. It shows how Rama was received back into the kingdom, and the next chapter is all about how not next chapter, next 10 50 to 55 verses are about how he ruled Ramarajya. So this here this session ends actually. Mataji gave me only until 45. Actually I finished 46 also. 47, 46. Yeah. Yeah.
Mataji, how many more verses are there?
Until 55, Prabhuji, actually, in this chapter.
I mean, if you want to finish, you can finish, because next person will only have 10 verses.
I am the next person, Prabhuji. So you can assign me, Mataji. Anyway, I haven't started preparation. You can assign me the next set, no problem. You can finish
Next
up to
chapter you
50.
can take.
Yeah.
Next chapter, no? Okay. Okay. So moving on, yeah, what did Lord Rama do? He was we saw how he was welcomed and everything, and Rama also was looking very, very beautiful, and he offered his obeisances to all the mothers and all the gurus, and he reciprocated suitably with his friends, along with Sita and Lakshmana. Then what happened? 47. Putran swamataраstastu प्राणां स्तन्व इवोत्थिता आरोप्यांके अभिषिञ्चयन्त्यो भास्पौघैर्विजहुः शुचा. Translation: Upon seeing their sons, the mothers of Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, and Shatrughna immediately arose like unconscious bodies returning to consciousness. The mothers placed their sons on their laps and bathed them with tears, thus relieving themselves of the grief of long separation. Actually, there is no need for any explanation after reading such an amazing translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. 48. Anybody wants to read?
Krishna?
Yeah. Yeah, Prabhuji.
Jata nirmuchya vidhivat kulavruddhai samam guru abhyashinchadya dhaivendriyam chatu siddhu jaladhibihi. Hare Krishna. Translation of Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The family priest or the spiritual master Vasishtha had Lord Ramachandra cleanly shaved, freeing him of his matted locks of hair. Then, with the cooperation of the elderly members of the family, he performed the bathing ceremony, Abhisheka, for Lord Ramachandra with the water of the four seas and other substances, just as it was performed for King Indra. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. While I was reading the translation of this, I was remembering how Prabhupada insisted that all Prabhujis should be cleanly shaved all the time. He even went to the extent of saying that if you really love me, you have to shave your, you have to be cleanly shaven. Not necessarily head he was talking about, but more about the beard and mustache. And I heard from Lilananda Prabhuji in one of the lectures that is because at that time when Prabhupada was dealing with hippies, the first sign of rebellion that hippies decided to show was through their growing of hair. Right? That's the first thing that they did when the hippie movement came into being. In fact, if somebody has long hair, we even call them hippie, right? What you're looking like a hippie. So that became like a identity of hippies with long hair, long mustache, long beard, and Prabhupada was trying to take them away from everything that hippie movement stood for. And one of the most apparent, visible, seemingly external but extremely internal was to get them to shave properly. So this verse says how the family priest Vasishta made Lord Ramachandra look even more well kept by cleanly shaved, freeing him from his matted hair, locks of hair, and then with the cooperation of the elderly members of the family, he also did the bathing ceremony, Abhisheka, for Lord Ramachandra with water from four oceans and with other substances, like how we use all the paraphernalia and ingredients for Abhisheka, all those things were used. And just like as it was performed for King Indra. So 49. Anybody wants to read?
Can I read?
Okay, go ahead. Sunil.
Go ahead, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Evam krita sira snana suva saha sragvi alankrita savalankrita he suva sabhir bhrutar bhir Bharya
Bhabha.
Bhava. Yeah, I'm not wearing my glasses. Sorry.
No.
Yeah, translation. Lord Ramachandra, fully bathed and his head clean shaven, dressed himself very nicely and was decorated with the garland and ornaments. Thus he shone brightly, surrounded by his brothers and wife, who were similarly dressed and ornamented.
Yeah,
Hare
yeah.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So not only Lord Rama, everybody else was also very neatly dressed by now. Bhrata means brother. Bharya means wife. So he was surrounded by his brothers and wife, who were similarly dressed and ornamented. They were also no longer looking like Sita and Lakshmana were also looking very princely at this point of time. 50. I'll read this. Okay, Prabhuji, go ahead, Prabhuji.
अग्रहीना सनं भ्रात्रा प्राणिपत्या प्रसादितः प्रजा स्वधर्मनिरता वर्णाश्रमगुणान्वितः जुगोपपितृवद्रायो मेनिरे पितरं च तम्. Hare Krishna. Translation. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Being pleased by the full surrender and submission of Lord Bharata, Lord Ramachandra then accepted the throne of the state. He cared for the citizens, carried exactly like a father, he cared for the citizens exactly like a father, and the citizens, being fully engaged in their occupational duties of Varna and Ashrama, accepted him as their father. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Purport.
Purport also, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Prabhuji.
People are very fond of pattern of Ramarajya, and even today, politicians sometimes from a party called Ramarajya form a party called Ramarajya. But unfortunately, they have no obedience to Lord Rama. It is sometimes said that the people want the kingdom of God without God. Such an aspiration, however, is never to be fulfilled. Good government can exist when the relationship between the citizens and government is like that exemplified by Lord Ramachandra and his citizens. Lord Ramachandra ruled his kingdom exactly as a father takes care of his children, and the citizens, being obliged to the good government of Lord Ramachandra, accepted the Lord as their father. Thus, the relationship between the citizens and the government should be exactly like that between father and son. When the sons in the family are well trained, they are obedient to the father and mother. When the father is well qualified, he takes good care of the children. As indicated by the words
Swadharma Nirata.
Swadharma Nirata Varnasrama Gunanvitaha. The people were good citizens because they accepted the institution of Varna and Ashrama, which arranges society in Varna division and Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra, and Ashrama divisions of Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. This is actual human civilization. People must be trained according to different Varnashrama occupational duties, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 4.13, Chatur Varnashram Maya Srishtim Gunakarma Vivaha. The four Varnas must be established according to varying qualities and work. The first principles of good government is that it must institute the Varnashrama system. The purpose of Varnashrama is to enable people to become God consciousness. I get confused. Varnashrama Charavata Purishena Para Puran Vishnarajyate. The entire Varnashrama scheme is intended to enable people to become Vaishnavas, Vishnu Ashriya Devate. When people worship Vishnu as Supreme Lord, they become Vaishnavas. Thus, people should be trained to become Vaishnavas through the system of Varna and Ashrama, as they were during the reign of Ramachandra, Lord Ramachandra, when everyone was fully trained to follow Varnashrama principles. Simply enforcing law and ordinances cannot make the citizens obedient and lawful. This is impossible. Throughout the entire world, there are so many states, legislatures, assemblies, and parliaments, but still the citizens are rogues and thieves. Good citizenship, therefore, cannot be enforced. The citizens must be trained. As there are schools and colleges to train students to become chemical engineers, lawyers, or specialists in many other departments of knowledge, there must be schools and colleges to train students to become Brahmana, Kshatriyas, Vaishnavas, Sudras, Brahmacharis, Grihasthas, Vanaprasthas, and Sannyasis. This will provide the preliminary condition of good citizenship. Varnashrama Guna Vibaha. Generally speaking, if a king or president is a Rajarishi, the relationship between the citizens and chief executive will be clear, and there will be no possibility of disruption in the state because the number of thieves and rogues will decrease. In Kali Yuga, however, because the Varnashrama system is neglected, people are generally thieves and rogues. In the system of democracy, such thieves and rogues naturally collect money from other thieves and rogues, and thus there is chaos in every government, and no one is happy. But here, the example of good government is to be found in the reign of Lord Ramachandra. If people follow this example, there will be good government all over the world. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
This purport is so perfect and straight and to the point. Prabhupada has done an amazing job, and he spent so much of, he wrote a very good long purport for this. I felt that this should be part of every political science curriculum. And I was also reminded of all the things that are completely opposite to whatever he asks of people who are leading the government nowadays. Nowadays, even it is becoming a comic relief also sometimes. All the stupid things that the governments of the world are doing, especially, someone great country is there and they have a great president. Every day morning we see that there is a breaking news and something is happening. Some green land, red land, everything is being claimed for, at least. Completely, there is no basis, there is no foundational principles, there is no guardrails, there is basically there is nothing, no guiding principles behind how governments administer the entire country. And there is a very nice, our shastras have a very nice content on how administration of a country should be done. And Ramarajya, as the word icon, has become an iconic with good administration. Can be double clicked, triple clicked, and understood in detail for the governments to do a great job, do an appropriate job to train the citizens to be worthy of Ramarajya. Today we don't have Ramarajya because leaders are not well trained and well learned. They are not Rajarshi. At the same time, the citizens of the kingdom don't deserve a Ramarajya as well. They don't have the qualification to be ruled by Rama like administrator as well. That is because there is no training of understanding of Varnashrama, and there is no training of following the Varnashramas. So this is a very nice write-up of what good governance should be. Prabhupada ki jai. Amazing purport. So 51. त्रेतायां वर्तमानायां कालाकृत समोभवत् रामे राजनी धर्मग्ने सर्वभूत सुखावहे. Translation: Lord Ramachandra became king during Treta Yuga, but because of his good government, the age was like Satya Yuga. Everyone was religious and completely happy. Purport: among the four yugas, Satya, Treta, Dwapara, and Kali, the Kali Yuga is the worst. But if the process of Varnashrama Dharma is introduced, even in this age of Kali, the situation of Satya Yuga can be invoked. The Hare Krishna movement or Krishna consciousness movement is meant for this purpose. Kaler dosha nidhe rajan asti hi eko mahan guna kirtana deva krishnasya mukta sangha param vrajet. My dear king, although Kali Yuga is full of faults, there is still one good quality about this age. Simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one can become free from material bondage and be promoted to the transcendental kingdom. Bhagavatam 12th canto, 3rd chapter, 51st verse. If people take to this Sankirtana movement of chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, they will certainly be freed from the contamination of Kali Yuga. And the people of this age will be happy, as people were in Satya Yuga, the golden age. Anyone, anywhere can easily take to this Hare Krishna movement. One need only chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, observe the rules and regulations, and stay free from the contamination of sinful life. Even if one is sinful and cannot give up sinful life immediately, if he chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra with devotion and faith, he will certainly be freed from all sinful activities and his life will be successful. Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. This is the blessing of Lord Ramachandra, who has appeared in this age of Kali as Lord Gaur Sundara. Hari Bol. This is the happiness formula. Like how we have 5.15 in Bhagavad Gita peace formula. I felt that this should be like sort of printed and learned by heart along with the translation. We can create a Treta Yuga, Satya Yuga in Kali Yuga if we just follow Krishna conscious movement. Very, very simply put by Prabhupada. 52. Anybody? Last 3 verses are there.
Hare Krishna Mataji, can I read?
Lavanya Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mataji. Vanani natyo girayo vashani dvipasindava sarve kame duga asan prajanam paratarshava. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. O Maharaj Parikshit, best of the Bharata dynasty, during the reign of Ramachandra, the forests, the rivers, hills and mountains, the states, the 7 islands and the 7 seas were all favorable in supplying the necessities of life for all living beings. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
Very good. So because the governance was so good by Lord Rama, first of all, Treta Yuga was like Satya Yuga and everyone was completely happy. And then the forests, rivers, hills, mountains, states, 7 islands and 7 seas, they all supplied the necessities of life for all living beings. And all bodily and mental suffering, and that is in the next one. Yeah, next, let's see what else was really, really good. Lavanya Mataji, go ahead.
Nadi Vyadi Jaraglani Dukha Shoka Bhayaklama Mrityus Chinchantamashir Rame Janati Adokshaje. Translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. When Lord Ramachandra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was the king of this world, all bodily and mental suffering, disease, old age, bereavement, lamentation, distress, fear and fatigue were completely absent. There was even no death for those who did not want it. Purport. All these facilities existed because of Lord Ramachandra's presence as the king of the entire world. A similar situation could be introduced immediately. Even in this age called Kali Yuga, all the worst of all ages, it is said Kalikale Namarupe Krishna Avatara. Krishna descends in this Kali Yuga in the form of holy name Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. If we chant offenselessly, Lord Rama and Krishna were still present in this age. The kingdom of Rama was immensely popular and beneficial, and the spreading of this Hare Krishna movement can immediately introduce a similar situation even in this Kali Yuga. Hari Bol. Very nice, Mataji.
So hope-giving verse actually. So not only all those forests, rivers, everything supplied what people needed, all the bodily and mental suffering, disease, old age, bereavement, lamentation, distress, fear, fatigue, even death, was absent if so desired. So basically, what Prabhupada is saying is that if Varnashrama Dharma is introduced even in this Kali Yuga, the situation of Satya Yuga can be created, and one can become. And how can Kali Yuga become? How can we create, Satya Yuga and Kali Yuga? Is by simply chanting Hare Krishna. We can become free from material bondage and be promoted to the spiritual world without really going to the spiritual world. Wherever we are, we can actually make it itself the spiritual world like. And this is the blessing of Lord Rama, who appeared in Kali Yuga as Lord Chaitanya. Yeah, last two verses are extremely beautiful. I think we should all make an attempt to, probably some of you have already known this. I really loved it and I thought I should learn these two by heart. Yeah. एकपत्नी व्रतधरो राजर्षि चरिताशुचि स्वधर्मं गृहमेधीयां शिक्षयान् स्वयमाचरत्. Translation: Lord Ramachandra took a vow to accept only one wife and have no connection with any other women. He was a saintly king and everything in his character was good, untinged by qualities like anger. He taught good behavior. He taught good behavior for everyone, especially for householders in terms of Varnashrama Dharma. Thus, he taught the general public by his personal activities. Purport: Ekapatni Vrata, accepting only one wife, was the glorious example set by Lord Ramachandra. One should not accept more than one wife. In those days, of course, people did marry more than one wife. Even Lord Ramachandra's father accepted more wives than one. But Lord Ramachandra, as an ideal king, accepted only one wife, Mother Sita. When Mother Sita was kidnapped by Ravana and the Rakshasas, Lord Ramachandra, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, could have married hundreds and thousands of Sitas. But to teach us how faithful he was to his wife, he fought with Ravana and finally killed him. The Lord punished Ravana and rescued his wife to instruct men to have only one wife. Lord Ramachandra accepted only one wife and manifested sublime character, thus setting an example for householders. A householder should live according to the ideal of Lord Ramachandra, who showed how to be a perfect person. Being a householder or living with a wife and children is never condemned, provided one lives according to the regulative principles of Varnashrama Dharma. Those who live in accordance with these principles, whether as householders, brahmacharis, or vanaprasthas, are all equally important. So Prabhupada elaborates on only one wife aspect of this shloka, and you know says, and we agree completely, that Lord Rama's life as a householder is a shining example of how a householder should be. In fact, Dasharatha had around 493 exact number of wives I wrote down when Shubhvilas Prabhu was talking about it. He had that many wives. It's just that he didn't have children. He had only 4 children from Kausalya, Sumitra, and Kaikeyi.
Was
But
it
yeah,
353, Mataji? 353 or?
353 or some, yeah, like that only, Mataji. I thought thousands, but when he said hundreds, I wrote it down. Yeah, let me see. If I find it, I'll send. Maybe 353, Mataji. You usually remember those things very
No,
nicely.
Mataji. I'm very bad with memory, so yeah.
No, no,
You
no.
can check.
You usually remember everything very nicely. I said. I did not
No,
say you are bad.
I'm saying I'm very bad with memory. I can't remember.
No,
Yeah.
no, no. He had, yeah, he had 353 wives. Yeah. all of us all of us are like Dasharath Maharaj said, Prabhu said, um, uh, 2 gurus of Dasharath. Yeah, yeah. It's a very he elaborated on having many wives and having no children also in that lecture. It was very nice. So last shloka.
Hare Krishna. I want to read Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please.
प्रेमानुवृत्त्या शिलेन प्रसृत्य या वनात सती भिया ह्रिया च भावन्या भर्तु सीताहरण मना. Translation by His Divine Grace. Can you move up, Mataji? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mother Sita was very submissive, faithful, shy, and chaste, always understanding the attitude of her husband. Thus, by her character, her love, and service, she completely attracted the mind of the Lord. Purport. As Lord Ramachandra is an ideal husband, Ekapatni Vrata, Mother Sita is the ideal wife. Such a combination makes family life very happy. Yet acharati shrestha sattat evataro jana. Whatever example a great man sets, common people follow. If the kings, the leaders, and the brahmanas and teachers would set forth the examples we receive from Vedic literature, the entire world would be heaven. Indeed, there would no longer be hellish conditions within this material world. Is there
Thank you,
Mataji?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. That ends the Bhakti and the purports to the 9th canto, 10th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Pastimes of Supreme Lord Ramachandra. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. This sort of seals the deal, the last one. By her love, service, and character, by her submissiveness, faith, shyness, fear, and by understanding her husband's mood, Sita completely attracted the mind of Lord Rama. That's what it says. So it's a very hard to understand and follow for Kali Yuga women. There are many Mataji's programs that happened, and I heard a few feedback from the teenage participants in such programs that every time we are told how to be a wife. All the workshop is all about, right? How to be a good wife. If Mataji is not yet married, it is a training to be a good wife, and if Mataji is already a wife, it's a workshop to hone her skills to be a better wife. That's all that there is to be for Matajis, is it? This was the question a young teenage girl asked me, and that made me realize that the whole Kali Yuga and all of the conditioning and the upbringing and the lack of exposure to this knowledge at the right time and age has made it very difficult for women to assimilate this teaching. It's very, very hard. Submissive, faithful, shy, chaste, always understanding. It looks like you have to be a slave, basically. But it is not. Right? Again, the previous two verses glorify Varnashrama and put it as the pivotal aspect of learning how to live human life. And if when Varnashrama is followed, the citizens and the governors or the administrators of the kingdom, everybody will be very happy and have a very good governance and good government and good kingdom. That is the basis of Vedic way of living. That's the basis of Vedic way of living. Yet, whenever there is a great person sets the example, common people follow. If the kings, leaders, and the brahmanas, teachers would set for the examples we receive from Vedic culture, the entire world would be heaven, not hell. So I was thinking that because we don't have such examples, or we have less examples of that, or that in that particular case, the person who was talking to me, the teenager who was talking to me, may not have seen this example coming from a great person. She might not have seen a great person that she thinks also is great, being very loving, service minded, very submissive and happy, and understanding her husband's mood and all that. So that's the reason it's very hard to understand such teaching. And to be very frank, I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to say. I just said that you just allow yourself, have an open mind, don't jump to conclusions. And it's a long journey to understand how to be whoever we are, mother, wife, daughter, a devotee. And if we understand the entirety, entire knowledge in spirit and principle, then we will be at a position to assimilate and absorb what is being told in Bhagavatam. So that's all I could say for that girl, but I was reminded of that conversation that I had. So this ends the 10th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, pastimes of Supreme Lord Ramachandra. It had a lot of memorable purports as usual. And thank you for giving me this opportunity. I do not qualify to sit here at all. I don't say this out of humility. This is a fact. But I love taking the opportunity and reading Bhagavatam and even hearing. That is because we were talking to Lalit Mohan Prabhu last week, and he said, this is the way you associate with Srila Prabhupada. This is the satsanga of Srila Prabhupada that we all are getting by reading his purports, his translations. And association of Prabhupada is the best association that we can get on this planet. Is the best association. There is no doubt. So thank you for giving me this association, Mataji, and Shilpa Mataji, thank you for giving this opportunity to read these verses. Lilananda Prabhuji, do you want to
Thank
give
you so
any
much.
Hare Krishna.
sections, Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Then Pranam. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So firstly,
Prabhuji, we lost you. We lost. Let's wait.
you like chanting about him. And talking about the last thing, I was recently hearing a lecture of Srila Prabhupada about, about Varnashrama system. In that you already touched upon it, but I thought I'll just add there. So Srila Prabhupada was saying that Varnashrama system is designed in such a way that strengths and weaknesses are combinedly structured in such a way that everybody goes back to Krishna. So if a guru is very great, all a disciple has to do is serve the guru, and he gets all the benefits that the guru has to give, right? Disciple doesn't have to do tapasya like the guru. He just has to follow the instructions of guru and serve him. In the same way, Prabhupada is saying about husband and wife, that if a husband is a great devotee and he is a yogi or he is a tapasvi, whatever he is a kshatriya, if the wife simply serves him in his service, then she gets all the benefits of all the credits that he gained by doing that service. And vice versa, Prabhupada is saying that if the wife does any sins, then the husband is going to get 100% share of that, right? But if the husband does any sins, wife will not get any part of it. And Prabhupada told that Matajis are not given privilege in Vedic scriptures. Like just imagine, the husband does the husband does all the good, it all goes to the wife, but the husband does any sin, it doesn't go to the wife, right? So that is the extra privilege that Vedic scriptures are given for a reason. We can't sit here and decide why it says so. Krishna knows better. He's the creator of all our bodies, whether it's a male body or a female body. He knows the tendencies, he knows the vasanas, he knows everything he knows. So he's given a wonderful system, and Lord Ramachandra is exemplifying that by following it himself. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exemplified how to be a devotee, Lord Ramachandra exemplified how to be a human being, when he come to this planet. So it's amazing. Wish there were another 4 cantos of Bhagavatam only about Ramachandra. Like Prahlad Maharaj was given one full canto. Ramachandra took only 2 chapters in Bhagavatam. That also shows that Bhagavatam is more about devotees than Bhagavan. And Krishna wanted his devotees to be glorified than himself. Of course, he himself took the 10th canto, but even in the 10th canto, he is only explaining his love for his devotees. So it's beautiful that we are all assembled here. The only reason we all are in this Gachibowli Satsang is to read Bhagavatam, is to learn Bhagavatam, is to serve Bhagavatas. Like today, we are getting an opportunity to serve His Holiness Indraduni Swami Maharaj. This is and His Holiness Bhakti Padma Saurabh Maharaj, and all the devotees, everybody who comes. So this is the reward of reading Bhagavat. Wherever there are sincere devotees, Krishna will send Bhagavatas. And I feel somebody in the satsang is very sincere. Because of him, it's happening. So let us all thank that devotee. I am searching for him eagerly. But I see many of you are like that. Thank you very much. Dandavata Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. So, Prabhuji, one thing I remember is one female journalist asked Prabhupada that Swamiji, you write that women are less intelligent in your purports. Is that true? And Prabhupada, without even waiting for a second, he said, yes, only if you think you are a woman. What he meant was, we are not this body, we are. So there is
Jai
a
Prabhupada.
there is
Jai
a way
Prabhupada.
to
This is
understand even that.
amazing. Only if you think you're a woman, or only if you think you're a man. If I think I'm a man, that means I'm going to come back here, right? There's no Purusha means the one who wants to enjoy. And if I think that I'm trying to enjoy here, my wife has to serve, all women have to serve the men, then the whole purpose is lost.
Correct.
Gopi Padakamalayuru Dasa 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 and das. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Wonderful. I'll remember this, Mataji. This is my takeaway today. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्ति वृंद की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.
Jai. Hare Bol.
So tomorrow should I cover 1 to 15, Prabhuji, of the next chapter?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.